introduce you, and I'll bring you on.
Sounds good.
Okay. Good evening, and welcome to the Nobody Asked Me Guys show. Guys, listen, we have a fantastic show for you this evening. We have none other than Dr. Delene, Dr. Mom Musielak. Now, listen, we get a double barrel this evening because her father, Pastor Lionel, has decided to join us as he is supporting Delene, and we're just all excited about that, and we're glad that all of you are here. And allow me to say hello to one of my colleagues, which is Mr. Andre Harrison. Andre, we're glad you're here. Now, listen, this resume, and you guys know me, you know I call bios resumes. This resume is loaded, guys, and I'm only going to tell you just a tidbit of the things that are on here. And Dr. Mom will continue to share with you all the things in her life. And just let me warn you, she is a woman of God. She talks about the goodness and the grace of God. Her, and we all know there are a lot of jokes out there about PKs and all of that kind of thing. So we're not entertaining any PK jokes. We're just going to be moving forward. However, listen, Dr. Delene Musielak was born in Guyana, South America. Her parents are both pastors, which allowed Dr. Musielak the opportunity to travel to several countries, even at a young age. She has an older sister who she says is one of her mentors and her friend. Now, she also shares with us that at the age of 9, her family migrated to the United States for better education for Dr. Musielak and her sister. Dr. Musielak grew up in church, but had her own personal encounter with Christ at the age of 12. And as I alluded to earlier, you know, a lot of times we talk about PK kids and all of that, and we don't even want to waste people's time with that. But she's going to talk with us about how she had her own encounter with being raised as a Christian, having parents as pastors, etc. Now, from a very young age, she is saying to us that she knew she had a call of God, which was on her life, and she's going to be explaining that as well. So, as I said, I don't want to tell you everything she's going to be speaking with you, but I have to say this. You know, many times you guys have heard me allude to a person as being Renaissance people, but with Dr. Musielak, I think right now, Doc, you're at a professional baseball game. Is that correct?
I am at a Cardinals game.
She's at a Cardinals game.
I stuck out.
Yeah, she's at a Cardinals game, and she's so committed until she stayed with her commitment. Now, Dr. Musielak feels very blessed for multiple reasons, but especially for her amazing husband and triplets, and her book called Tripsies. Her triplets are Luke, Ethan, and Elena, and she's saying how much excitement they've added to her life. So, without further ado, I'm bringing to you not only a mom, a physician, a parent, an author. She has her own TV show, and she's going to be sharing all of that with us. And again, we'd like to thank her dad, Pastor Lionel, for being with us. Dr. Mom, how are you, and good evening?
Hello, good evening. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Mr. Melvin. Sorry it's under these circumstances, but go Cardinals!
Well, listen, the pleasure is ours. There is no problem. We know that life continues and life goes on. So let's just jump right in and get this thing rolling. Shannon, glad to see you here, dear. Listen, let's just jump right in, as I stated earlier, get this thing rolling. You know, I love asking this question, and I think I bore people sometimes with it, but everybody feels that they know or they have an idea or definition, about being a mother. Now, I know that you're a new mother of twins and you've written a book already. Can you give us just a little bit of what you would say a mother is?
So I think for me, one word that sums up a mom or mother would be sacrifice. I feel moms ultimately sacrifice a lot of things. We sacrifice our bodies. We sacrifice 9 months of carrying babies. We sacrifice a lot of times. We can sacrifice professional goals, personal goals. Because I feel moms have a tendency to put others before themselves. It's a good and bad thing, but I think one word would be sacrifice, because moms just share their love and sacrifice.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Because you know what? That's very well put, because it takes us right to our next question. Now, you have already stated that you're at a Cardinals game. We know that you are a pediatrician. We know that you have the book about tripsies, about your triplets, and and all of these things happening. So as you've talked about sacrifice, can you just kind of share with us pieces about all of the things that you're doing?
Yes. So I have a YouTube channel, my own show. It's called the Dr. Mom Show. And that stemmed after I had my babies because, you know, people think as a pediatrician, they're like, oh, you have them made, you know what to do. But that's not true because there's been times where I get frazzled and I tell my husband I'm in mama mode. You know, you're not in doctor mode. You're not in pediatrician mode. When it's your own kids, it's totally different. You want somebody to tell you that it's okay and it's normal. So that's what I'm to my show, the Dr. Mom Show, just to let mom know that, hey, you know, I'm a regular person too, and to help give information to moms. And from that, I recently wrote my first devotional, and that's called Mom, M-O-M, and that stands for Meditate, Overcome, and Motivate. And that really, again, goes back to what I said, that moms do sacrifice. And it's just a way to remind moms each day. It's a 30-day devotional and workbook. And each day, it reminds mom that you are loved, you are blessed, you are favored, you are beautiful. So I really enjoyed writing that book. Most recently, I'm getting ready to publish my first children's book. That's called The Tripsies and Me. So that's all about our family and the first 6 months with the triplets. That's a children's book and illustrated. It's so beautiful. I'm so excited about that. And just some other things that's on the horizon is I started doing healthy parenting coaching. I got my life coach certification. And it's something I really enjoy because as a physician, I do like teaching people about preventative medicine so we can live longer, happier, healthier lives. And my goal is to help parents to be the exception by helping them do healthy parenting in all realms. So physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So there's a lot of things happening.
Yeah, there are. You know, as you share that, I know that there are many. So please, I do not want to sound like an idiot here. But will you cite? You mentioned this being quote in mommy mode, and people think that life would be so easy because you're a pediatrician. Can you cite one? Can you cite one thing to us that when you're in mommy mode that may be your most challenging?
When I'm in mommy mode, so I'll give you the perfect example. So once, probably when the babies were about 4 months, I remember we were feeding them, and baby Luke, he was just looking weird. Something was wrong. I was like, he looks puny, his skin looks pale. And I kept saying it to my husband, and my husband turned around and said, you're the pediatrician. Why do you keep going on? Because he expected me to jump in with my medical knowledge. So I'm going to be honest, when anything happens to them and they have an accident, I'm like, here, babe, and I give them to my husband. So personally, when they have an accident, I don't deal well with it because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's blood. but if it was anybody else, I'm like, that's fine. You know, blood's spewing everywhere. But I think it's just different when it's happening to my own kids. So
yeah,
that's correct.
well, you know that is very interesting because if I understood clearly, I was watching one of your YouTube segments, and I understand that Dr. Musielak is a surgeon.
he is.
So he expects you to jump into the pediatrician mode when something's wrong
Yes.
until it's possibly his turn as the surgeon, huh?
Yeah, he can have everything but blood.
I heard that. Now, you know, and speaking of that, if we can, I love talking about moms and movements and that kind of thing. You know, so many of us, when we are discussing moms and there are conversations that are relative to rearing sons and being a son, I ask this question because I do personal surveys I've written a book about it, etc. I know looking at here, I think there are 2 girls and 1 boy among the triplets. Is that correct?
Yes.
And looking at
Two
that,
boys and one girl.
yeah,
Two boys and one
two
girl.
boys
Sorry.
and one girl. Okay.
Yes.
Are there special concerns, even though they're still babies? Are there special concerns in your mommy mode when it comes to rearing your sons, even though they're very small? I know that your husband is a surgeon and he's a professional as well. But are there specific concerns for the boys as it will relate to them progressing and getting older as far as rearing them than there are for the daughter?
Um, I guess my concern would be I feel just growing up, and this could be cultural, that I feel a lot of times as parents I've seen they're more protective of their girls, and not that you kind of let your boys slide and they can do anything they want, but I'm already a little overprotective of my boys where because like one day I went to their school and one of them was holding hands with a little girl and I'm like, what's happening here? But I think that's one thing that just our culture is that boys can take care of themselves, so we let them hang out later with their friends, whereas I feel like for girls you're always like, oh, we don't want them out by themselves in the dark with when it's all girls.
Yeah.
That they can't take care of themselves. So I think as they grow, I hope to maybe treat them equally. I don't think my husband will let my little girl do anything. I think he's always going to be overprotective of her. But I think I'll try as they grow to at least be equal, not to let the boys be able to hang out and not let baby girl hang out.
Okay. Well, listen, allow me one quick second to offer Shannon or Andre. We have one camera open. Feel free to jump on if you have any questions, or if you just like to join us, please feel free. Shannon, excuse me, Dr. Delene, Shannon was giving you some kudos. She was talking about, she's saying here, that's awesome. And she goes, woohoo, you are doing big things. So I certainly agree with Shannon. Shannon, listen, Shannon is a Renaissance woman herself. She's written 8 books and she does all kind of things. She's an advocate against domestic violence. And Dre, who's here with us, both of these guys are my colleagues. Dre does our relationship building, and he's a quote single dad unquote. He doesn't call himself a single dad, but he is the parent that's raising the children physically in the home. So
more power to you.
Yes, more power to it. And I want to invite either one of them, if they're so inclined, to just come on and join us. But listen, how instrumental do you feel that your influence? Now, we've talked about your sons and how, basically we just kind of, parents just kind of let the boys do themselves because we feel more comfortable. And you've mentioned about dad, who we know how dads are. Yeah, I'm guilty. I don't have daughters. I have nieces, who are overprotective of their girls. And with that thought, have you found it particularly stressing sometimes when the boys have a tendency to be being boys too much and maybe taking things a little far? Or has it been pretty much level? I know you talked about when your son was holding hands, and you as the mom was like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't know about this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I will say when I was pregnant, I had one episode where I just cried and I told my husband, I was like, do you realize that all 3 of them are going to leave me for college at the same time?
And you were still pregnant?
And I was still pregnant.
Okay.
So I'm sure that time comes. I mean, I'm not going to lie, we're only human. We'll stress.
Wow. That's I know from what you've just said, you are still with children. They've not come forth yet. And you're already thinking one day they're going to leave you to college all at one time. So actually that's perfect statement for my next question. Now, what is the one thing the one thing that you would prefer your children do different at the ages that they, how old are they?
They're 3. They're 3.5. I lost you. I can't see you anymore.
Okay, I can't see you either. Sometimes you have to go out and come back in, and sometimes it comes back on its own. So I'm going. So if you start working on the question, if it doesn't come back, then click out and come back in, please.
Okay.
Sometimes it does that.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So at the age of 3, I understand full well that we probably don't remember. I'm gonna let you come back in, but while we're waiting for Dr. Delene to come back in, guys, again, Dre, Shannon, if you guys want to hop on, feel free to grab that camera and hop right on. You have any questions, and everything that you guys add will always be value added. I listen to you guys' shows, and we've talked, so I know you guys have some great questions and great things to share. So feel free. Pastor Lionel, if you have any questions you'd like to ask your baby while we have her on camera, feel free to come in and mention it as well. I think maybe Pastor Lionel has left us, but see his camera is still on. And we'll wait a little while for Dr. Delene. But for those that are watching on other formats, again, if you're coming in late, we have with us this evening as our guest, Dr. Mom. Her given name is Delene Musielak. She's a pediatrician. She's also have a talk show called the Dr. Mom Show on YouTube. Excuse me. She's an author of a new book called Tripsy. She's the mother of 3 triplets. She's also a PK. Now, we're all aware, most of us are aware of PK, AKA Preacher Kid, AKA PK. And she talks about her calling at an early age, and she always wanted to be a physician. So she's just sharing some of those things with us and kind of highlighting some information with us as we go forward. But for some reason, her camera is acting up, so she's going out to come back in. So any of you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the box. Dr. Lionel, glad you came back with us. Right, for some reason, Delene's camera is acting up. So many times when they act up, we asked our guest to check out and check back in to come back into the camera. So that's what she's doing right now. And we're just going over some things. And I'd like you to feel free also, Pastor Lionel, if you want to interject while we're waiting on her to return, or even after she returned, please feel free that you're here and that you are supporting Delene.
Yeah. Well, we are very proud of our daughters that they have accomplished. A lot of people have an imbalance in their lives. They are both professionals, and they have placed the Lord in his rightful place in their lives.
That's correct.
As a pastor, sometimes people have a little baby or children, and they use them as excuse for not being in church.
Okay.
The only time they are not in church with triplets is when her husband is on call, and he has to be at the hospital on Sundays. Other than that, so her mom and I keep saying and honoring God that many times kids say, I wish my parents were here. I wish my parents were alive to see what we have accomplished. So we see that as a great blessing, that we are alive to see our 2 daughters accomplish and to see our grandbabies grow up. We have 4. One of them is 10 years old. And then we have the triplets. They'll be 4 in December.
Okay.
So I have used their lives as a testimony to encourage other young people about them pursuing purpose and destiny, and in spite of all that they pursue, that they can still serve the Lord and honor Him. That's our greatest joy. You ask me, what is the greatest joy? That's the greatest joy for my children.
Okay. Also, Dr. Pastor Lionel, you may want to adjust your camera a little bit. I'm seeing about half of your head.
Oh, okay.
You may want to. I think Dr. D is back with us. Dr. D, can you hear me?
I don't know how you do that. How you adjust your.
Okay, you just move it. If you, I don't know if you're using a laptop, just kind of readjust the camera.
Oh,
Or if it's a personal camera, just okay. If you go out, yeah, you're still here. I think I see Dr. D back in, but I don't see her. Dr. D, can you hear us? Well, Dr. D, if you can hear us, if you'll click out and try it again, or if you just take the other seat, take the other camera. There's an empty camera over there. If you just take the other one where you say grab this spot, do that. But in the meantime, for our guests and for our audience, we just want you guys to know that we are happy that you're here and you're hearing from Dr. Lionel. Now, Dr. Lionel, Pastor Lionel, is at a children's conference. And Dr. Lionel, will you share with us while we're waiting on D to return, where you're at in that conference? I can't even pronounce the name of where you are.
I am between Aruba and Curacao. They are called Netherlands Antilles. It's just off the coast of Venezuela. So, they are small islands with about maybe 100,000+ people, and they are tourist islands. A lot of tourists come to these islands. So when I tell people that I'm coming to Aruba, they thought I'm just coming for vacation, you know. You do a little bit of that. My wife is joining me on Sunday because next Wednesday is our 42nd wedding anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
To celebrate that as well. So that's it.
Congratulations. 42nd wedding anniversary. That's huge.
We have about 100+ young people that we have been having a conference with in both of the islands.
Okay.
So they've been talking about their subject has been transformation.
Transformation. Dr. Lionel, let me interrupt 1 second. I see D. Try the next camera, please. Try the one right underneath your dad. If you click on that one and see if that one is acting better. Okay, I see you trying to come. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish, Dr. Lionel.
Yeah, that's it. We've been dealing with transformation. About making changes in your life, young people, and some of the challenges of pursuing purpose. That was what we've been doing. Because we feel our youth in these times have their own challenges that we don't even have a clue about.
Right.
Many are the challenges. I don't know the camera. I don't know how to do this.
Okay, that's quite okay. That's quite okay. Okay, Dr. D, I see where you have come back, but I still can't see your picture. If you can hear me, try that next camera that is sitting underneath your dad, the one that says grab this spot. Click on that one and see if that one will work better than the one we have right now. But in the meantime, if it doesn't, we'll always reschedule the show and do it again. But we are very pleased with the information that we've gathered so far. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, she's trying the other camera. Great. Let me see if that one will work. Hopefully it's coming through.
So she has to go through the whole process.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a little time.
Okay.
There you are.
I think because I leaned it.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. So 42 years of marital bliss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Everybody is not able to do that.
Yep. In these days, they think something is wrong with us.
So they think something is wrong because you've been able to make it go for 42 years, huh?
Yeah. When you are married for 2 years, they say, "What is that? Something is wrong with you guys."
Yeah.
Because we can do it for 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
So
that is great. That is great.
They look to Hollywood. That Hollywood set the standard. Hollywood,
Absolutely.
They don't know what they want really.
Yes, sir.
What they want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hollywood has influenced a great number of people. Unfortunately, many more negatively than positively.
Yep.
And that's definitely one of the challenges that we're faced with. And as you were alluding to earlier, to have two daughters who are both successful and still adhere to the things in which they were taught as children and as they're being reared. I mean, that's phenomenal. I think she's trying to call me here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we are. Dr. Delene, can you hear me? Do you hear me? Okay. She's still trying to get in, guys. I know you guys are waiting for the interview to finish. I don't know why that's happening, but I hear you now in Facebook. I still have the room open, and they can hear our conversation as well. No, that is not you. That is the site that we're on. So please, they can hear you, but they can't see you, so you can continue to talk. Can you guys hear Dr. Delene? Can you guys hear her?
No, it's just mumbled. It's just mumbled.
Oh, it's mumbled. Okay. I see you're still on here, D. See if you can come in again. I don't know why it's disconnecting you from the room, but see if you. Okay. Okay. We will. And one last time. I know it's hot outside, and we won't prolong. I just had one or two more questions, but we won't prolong you. And I'm just grateful that you're here. We can always reschedule as well. It doesn't want to. Yes, I do hear you. Yeah, we were talking about technology earlier today. Yeah. Can you guys hear Dr. Musielak? Okay, Shannon is saying that it's faint. She can hear you well, and your dad is also saying that it sounds like it's kind of muzzled. So let's. I know that you're trying to enjoy the ball game, and you've been so kind as to come on with us. I want to reschedule with you, and we'll do it all over again. Will that work for you? Okay. Okay. Oh man, I don't know what's happening with this. I don't know what's happening with this.
It's modern technology.
Yeah, technology. You're right. That's what's happening. Technology. Okay. Well, listen. Let me reschedule. Go ahead and enjoy the ball game. And no, is not you. It's the site, and it could be because of the location. But listen, allow me to tomorrow. I will be sending you another message to find out when will be a good time for us to reschedule this interview. Okay. Thank you, and thank you for being here with us. You too, Pastor Lionel. We are going to reschedule. I'm going to be back in touch
Yes. Okay.
with her on tomorrow, and we're going to reschedule to redo this soon.
It turned out to be my show.
Yeah, it did turn out to be your show, didn't it? And that's okay. So listen, have a great night, sir. It was very great meeting you. Hopefully you will return on the next show when we get this thing rescheduled.
I just wanted to be a support, and I'm glad.
Good.
I'm not speaking tonight. So
good.
Yeah. So be blessed.
Well, you know what, Pastor Lionel? Now, not only do we need to have you get your daughter back, I need to have you on the show. I need to have some contact information so that I can contact you and have you on the show.
So can I I could send you my email.
Please do.
I'll write it. I can put it here, right?
Yes, sir. You can. Right over there on the message side, where it have the messages. Okay, ETWARU at AOL.com.
That's all you need.
Yes, sir. Okay, Pastor Lionel, I have you, sir. I will be getting in touch with you tomorrow as well. Okay. So that we can do a show with you exclusively, and actually we can do a double show, just as we've done tonight. It was impromptu, so we can do a double show. With you. I just
wanted to be on to support her, you know.
Yeah, but listen, you helped me to complete this portion of the show by being here. So we appreciate the fact that you want to support Delene, but listen, you also supported us as well.
Thank you.
So we thank you very much. Shannon, thank you for being here with us, darling. I'm going to let Pastor Lionel off the line. Yes. And Shannon, thank you very much. We will see you guys real soon. Everybody have a great night.
Blessings to you guys.